as the country continues to reel in the wake of continuous load shedding, the Congress of South African Students, COSAS, says students are bearing the brunt of the power cuts. Now, last week, Eskom announced stage 6 load shedding following a wage dispute with workers, which they say led to a strike. Let's bring in COSAS President Douglas Ngobeni, who joins us via our video link this morning. Douglas, for the students who can afford alternatives to Eskom, perhaps they're able to better cope, but for the bulk of South African students, how has the load shedding schedule, particularly the past few weeks, affected them?
Good morning to you and all the viewers of Newzroom Afrika this morning. Well, we need to be straightforward when we respond to these questions, because when you say that it is, there are certain learners who are able to bear the brunt of load shedding, we need to be specific that it is only the privileged, those who stay in Sentin and elsewhere, but those in the deep rural areas are unable to they are unable to bear the brunt of load shedding. So load shedding is doing an enormous damage to the schedule of learning in South Africa, because you must remember that when COVID first came to South Africa, we have made the fourth industrial revolution, which is now ICT learning and alternative. So when load shedding happens in this nature, it now means that those in deep rural areas who do not have reserve energy, who do not have generators, are the ones who get affected mainly. Necessarily because, one, you get learners who are deprived an opportunity to study, because there are learners who prefer studying at night, and now it's winter. And if you want to focus very well in whatever you do, you need to be in a comfortable space. And one of the most comfortable spaces in winter will be heaters. And in this case, when load shedding is introduced, it now means that you are depriving these learners an opportunity to do what they are supposed to do or what is expected of them.
Douglas, it won't come as a surprise if we see the impact that the continuous load shedding has on the outcomes that learners experience this year.
Definitely, because here we are dealing with someone who has went beyond being a delinquent, but being a professional or under the router. Because the problems of Eskom are not small, in a sense that we know who is the person, who are the people actually behind bringing load shedding in South Africa, necessarily because Eskom is led by a person who does not care about South Africa. If you remember very well, there's a point in South Africa where South Africa had more than 20,000 megawatts of reserve energy. And today we are seated at 3,183 megawatts on the national grid. It now means that we have only appointed people to give them fat salaries and not really to do their job. So come the end of the year, the impact of load shedding is going to start bearing fruits, and the fruits will be having a lot of learners having failed in South Africa.
Learners who are still trying to catch up as a result of missed class time due to COVID-19, now the added pressure of load shedding as well. What's the kind of support that especially tertiary learners are getting from government?
Well, you must remember that Eskom, which is introducing this load shedding, is a parastatal of government. It now means that the only support which we require from government is the firing of the router and Pravin Gordhan. I think that is the best support that will have ever been given to the people of South Africa, not only the students who are confronting this shadow of load shedding, but because this is not an educational clusteral problem, but it's a societal problem on its own. And the only way the government is going to help us, as the people of South Africa, is if the router and Pravin are fired, so that we get competent people who are going to take Eskom back to its former glory. of providing lights for the people of South Africa.
Douglas Ngobeni, let me thank you for your time this morning. COSAS President, as we continue to unpack certainly one of the big stories here at home, and that's the continuous power cuts that we've had. Stage 4 load shedding is in place until 4 p.m. today. I understand stage 6 then kicks in from 4 to 10 p.m.